Hey guys, welcome all to the Koolnee K1 Trio unboxing. And I don't know if you guys remember, but the old Koolnee K1, I was so absolutely blown away by how great the phone looked that I was actually pretty impressed with how the phone looked. And I hope I'm blown away the same way with this Koolnee K1 Trio. And as you can see, the specs here are they're actually not bad. You have the MTK6763 or the Helio P23, which is actually fairly new. 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of ROM, 4200 milliamp hour battery, 6-inch Incell display, as well as a 16 megapixel and 8 megapixel camera. And in terms of bands, we have GSM, WCDMA, and LTE, which means you will get 3G everywhere in North America, but LTE is going to be hard to come by in the USA. So with all that being said, let's start unboxing the Koolnee K1. Power of Trinity. There, see, I've always thought that putting something above the phone would actually be a great idea if you want to protect it in transit. And I don't know why more companies do that. Put like the box above the phone so that it's, more protected when it's in transit. So this is the phone, put it aside. Let's see what we have in terms of accessories. And here we have a manual, wipes. These are not baby wipes, but screen wipes. And we also have a tempered glass screen protector here. And finally, a pretty crappy TPU case. And here we have the SIM proper. And here we have the USB cable. It's a micro USB, which is actually too bad. And finally, a charger. So let's put all this stuff aside and look at the phone itself. The Koolnee K1 Trio. Again, I am just so absolutely blown away. This time, not so much by the bezels, but by the color. I absolutely love this type of color combination where you have kind of almost like a royal blue with gold trims, and it really makes this phone look royal. Again, I would have liked the blue to be a little bit deeper and the gold to be a little bit golder to make it look, extremely royal. But you know what? This is already good enough. I really like the color scheme on this, and I think that if you do want to get a Koolnee K1 Trio, this is the best color to get it in, gold and blue. Let's take a look at the back, whereas as you can see, I've just taken it out and there's already a couple of fingerprints as well as dust. This type of back is coming into vogue into many Chinese phones, and I have to say that I dislike it and like it at the same time. On one hand, it looks nice when it's nice and clean. On the other hand, it gets dirty very, very easily. If you can see over here, there's a ton of dust already on it, and I just took the cover off, which is actually pretty funny. But let's move on to what we see on the phone itself. There's the Koolnee logo. There's a couple of words down here, as well as the dual cameras, as well as the LED flash. There's no fingerprint sensor on the back. And here we have the power button and the volume buttons on the sides. We have the SIM slot, as well as, sadly, the micro USB slot, a headphone jack. Hey, look, that's pretty rare nowadays, as well as the speaker on the bottom. Let's look at the front. There is the fingerprint sensor as well as the selfie camera. And you can actually see the bezels. I don't think you can see it very well on the screen, and I will show it to you later with the screen on, but the bezels here don't look that big, which is actually impressive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this phone on, and then we can look at how big the bezels are. First impressions when turning on this device is actually pretty sick. Not only is the wallpaper make the phone look really nice, but the slightly modified stock launcher actually looks and feels very fast and very fluid as well. I'm very, very impressed by what Koolnee has been able to accomplish, at least in terms of first impressions. I won't give them the full verdict on the phone because I've just started using it, but the first impressions are generally very positive. Now let's look at the bezels. I'm going to open Google Play Store, nice, big, and white, and you can see that the side bezels are actually a little bit bigger than what you would expect just because there is a black border around the entire screen that you can see, and it is a little bit visible. I'm not used to that anymore, but still the bezels are small enough that they look pretty decent. The top bezel here is a little bit big, especially for a tri-bezel-less phone, but it's still small enough to be not completely ugly. The bottom bezel here is average. It's not too big, it's not too small. It could be smaller. I think the Maze Alpha actually has a smaller bezel on the bottom as well. Again, software first impressions are very good. Here we have already a wireless update, so it looks like Koolnee is taking good care of us in terms of wireless updates and security. We have Android 7.1.1, no 8.0 Oreo, but that's to be understood. And I do have one thing that I do want to nitpick with this phone. This button over here is not sensitive, so if I touch it lightly, nothing actually happens. I have to touch it hard before it responds, which is a little bit annoying. I really hope that the button is a little bit more sensitive, but there are some things that are not always perfect with cell phones. Koolnee has put a pretty decent looking LCD display in the Koolnee K1 Trio, and I really like how saturated the display looks. But that being said, what you see over here on the camera is actually a tiny bit more saturated than what is actually on the screen. but the display still looks very good. And as you can see, the sun over here, it's very nice and yellow. The dynamic range on this LCD screen at first glance doesn't actually look as good as other LCD screens, but that being said, it's still pretty decent. And as you can see, this picture here looks very crisp, very clear, no problem at all. This picture is very detailed, and the colors everywhere are all very saturated, and they contrast each other nicely as well. All in all, this looks like a very good display at first glance, but I will continue testing to see how good this phone is. Let's listen to a clip from Hero. I'm probably going to get copyright striked for this, but whatever. This is a very good clip, so let's just watch it. So these are very, very positive first impressions for the Koolnee K1 Trio. The body doesn't look as good as the older K1, but I do like the color scheme a lot. The nice gold trim with the blue color body. And when I turned on the phone, the software experience as well as even the wallpaper, they're all very well thought out and very well implemented, so that I was actually pretty excited to test this phone when I turned it on. So definitely keep an eye on my channel for more videos on the Koolnee K1 Trio coming up. Again, if you want to see more videos like the Koolnee K1 Trio, why not subscribe? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.